You don't see this every day, friends, and it's not Halloween. This is the end of November. Appreciate it. This lady's enjoying her day. Those are old retired Amtrak train cars sitting back there. And look at this grid, how large it is. It's huge. When I got to looking, I think I can drive up to these train cars. So we're gonna go back here and take a look, see. Looks like that Amtrak is open. We got to take a look, friends. Can't let this go by without investigating. It's a sleeper car, and it does say, it says Burlington, which I would assume would be Burlington, North Carolina, probably. And it does say Amtrak on it, so let's go look. And this one says Pacolet River on it, and it says Southern across it, and it's been tagged. So let's see if this thing is open like it appears that it is. No, it is. It's actually locked pretty good. They've even got this little drop down, so the steps would pull out. I see, the steps would stick out. Let's see. Oh, I see. So they've got it padlocked. It's got that familiar musty smell, as you can imagine. And this one, you can look down inside there. But all this stuff is all locked and chained up. And it says sleeper car right there. That's a dead end track right there. I guess this track's probably a dead end too. Watch your step. Reminds me of Disney. Watch your step. And that grid is huge. And that's some kind of a bridge, a railroad trestle bridge here. Old railroad ties. I don't know why railroad and railway cars always intrigue me, but they just always have. There's something about them that attracts me to them. And that's very similar to the cars that we rode in when we were, when we left the train museum, which is right down here. And they have, here in Nashville, they have where they do like murder mystery theaters and stuff like that. So, you know, if this was really hooked to a real train, I'd be scared to death to get up in here like this. But I'm gonna climb up in here and we're gonna see. Now I'm on the other end of that car, and yeah, it's definitely locked. Brakes were tested in '08. So now I'm on back into this second car. And that's downtown Nashville there. You can see the Batman building, the profile of it, just to the left of that. Wonder what it looks like down inside this car right here. Yeah. Oh, I see. So it's got tops on those things. It's a vented hatch, so there shouldn't be any pressure here. And you can see this thing's already undone. I didn't undo it. So it's just looks clean down in there. It's just clean down in there. It's a hopper. The hopper. So this is what you would call a hopper car. And there's the pieces to trains. We'll go down there and take a little look-see. Boy, that's a huge electric grid right there, isn't it? And then there's the other two cars, the top of them. So let's go down, friends. I don't recommend you do this. It's highly dangerous. I am a trained professional train climber. And this is it says hand wheel on and off. So I guess that's on. So that may be how you lock these things together, I believe. You have to release this and you undo it, and that's actually what undoes the two trains from the two cars from each other, is what it appears to me, to my professional trained eye. Because as I say, I am a professional, probably BSer. So here's carriages, the bottom part of a train, friends. And the axles would go in here. And there's a bucket for backhoe. But if you look, you see that the train car rides on top of that. You see this thing here? So it's kind of like a friction plate that the train car sits on top of, so it can have this motion as well. And it's got those bushings in it, and they put chains around it just in case the bushing breaks or whatever, so it doesn't come apart. That's old school. And then there's one over here on the other side. Looks like it's actually still got some disc brakes in it. Yep. So this has got giant disc brakes just like a car would. Look at those giant pads right there. And it uses the hydraulic cylinder. I'm assuming that's air. And an air cylinder, I should say, not hydraulic. But there's the wheel that rides on the track. And this is the rotor. That's very much like a car. You see those giant pads right there. Very, very similar to a car. And when it applies air to it, it pushes that out, which squeezes the two pads together. And that's what slows the train or stops it. And then you can see the friction pad here that the car rides on top of. That's a more complete one right there, friends. Bucket. Wonder if they know that bucket is stuck right there. I bet they don't. I think they lost it. And then here's what I would call the ties. Those go under the cross beams, and you put spikes in it. And then here's more pieces to a bridge, a trestle, something. It's like a bridge to me. And then and the plates may not be called ties. I would think that these would be called ties So, you know, either one of them I guess could be called ties. So let's continue on our adventure, friends, and here's some train tracks not being used. Some rails. Those are brand new, in fact. Look, nowhere on the top. That one's got, this one has wear, so that one's been used. This one has not been used. You can see that there's still a casting mark in the top of it. This guy's hauling ice, and I don't mean he's driving fast.
Tighten up.